Hey y'all, my name is Angelica. I'm the owner of the Math Magician Bookkeeping, and I'm one of the students in Bryce's coaching program. And the other day I uploaded a video on how to onboard your clients that are already set up with QuickBooks, but I'm going to do another video talking about how to onboard a client if they're not set up with QuickBooks. So it's going to be a similar thing starting off at the beginning. So if you want to go back and watch that other video, you can just watch the first few minutes of like how the contract agreement works. If not, I'll just run through it real quick on this. But basically, there's an onboarding checklist that QuickBooks offers. You can use that to kind of help, but you're basically going to need them to sign a contract. I usually have them sign a contract, a credit card authorization form, and a bank login user info form. I send them to my client portal, so on and so forth. Like I said, there's more details in that previous video if you want to watch that. But the only difference is with this one, we're going to be learning how to actually set them up in QuickBooks with an actual subscription if they've never used it before. So let me go ahead and show you how I would do that actually from my computer. All right, so this is going to be the initial thing that you first see on the onboarding checklist. This is what I was talking about in my previous video and a few minutes ago. But this is actually off of QuickBooks' Pro Advisor training. If you haven't seen the video on the client onboarding checklist for, I believe it's like section 2 or something like that of the QuickBooks training, go ahead and watch that one to become a Pro Advisor. But if not, basically this is something you could get off of QuickBooks in the Pro Advisor tab. And this is just kind of an onboarding section. It even gives you more information of like client profile, what all they need assessed. This really helps determine what kind of QuickBooks features and subscriptions that your clients could actually use. And then here's the actual steps that you need to take to onboard them. So once you actually have the contract and all your agreements signed, you actually want to enter them into QuickBooks. So we're going to go to our QuickBooks page, and once you're actually on this page, this is just your practice page under your clients. You're going to come over here to the right-hand side where it says Add Client. And I'm actually going to move myself and move this down. So you can see right here, this is where you would add in their information. So whether they're a business or whether they're an individual, meaning self-employed, like a contractor 1099, but you'd put in their business name, their email address, what do you want them to be displayed as, their phone number, the subscription, and then this is where it gets kind of interesting. So you get to choose if you want them to take advantage of the Pro Advisor discount, the direct discount, or revenue share. So I'm going to go through those options with you real fast. Okay, so as I discussed in the last video on the QuickBooks training for it to become a Pro Advisor, basically you have these subscriptions here and you can do wholesale billing, direct billing, or this revenue share. So revenue share is a little bit newer. We'll kind of discuss that a little bit. But basically with the Pro Advisor discount, you get 30% off the discount of your subscription, and that is going to be for the life of your subscription as long as you were with that Pro Advisor, meaning you're the Pro Advisor, but I'm talking about for the client. If you set them up under your name, then they would get that 30% off discount. The only thing is that you would have to be the one paying for that as the actual advisor, and then your client would pay you that back at the end of the month, if that makes sense. So you're basically paying QuickBooks, and then your client is paying you for that subscription. It's just a lower cost than what it normally would be, because here are the costs here. So it says Pro Advisor will bill your firm, direct we bill your client, revenue share we bill your client. So it shows here you're going to have 30% off ongoing whenever you use the Pro Advisor discount. So 30% off the base subscription. So we see Simple Start, Essentials Plus, and then this one's Advanced. This is the amount they'd be paying every month. Then there's an option if you do it direct, if they want to do it directly, meaning if they want to just pay for their subscription without including you, then they can get that 30% off discount, but it only lasts a year, and then it goes right back to the normal price here, which you can see is pretty pricey. And then they also have an option to do this 50% off for the first 3 months, and then it defaults back to that original price of that 80, the 50, the 30, 200, so on and so forth. So getting them set up with you is going to help them a lot in the long run, and then also it's a really good thing for you too, because then you actually have access. They have to go through you to basically stop that access. So it's kind of a just like a backup plan, I guess, like a more more of a reason for them to want to stick with you because you're giving them that discount. So let's click on this revenue share here. It says enroll and receive 30% of the amount billed to your client for the subscription's first 12 months. So we don't want to do that. Basically, we would set it up as a pro advisor discount. That's going to be your best bet. And then we're going to choose which subscription goes best with them. Now, again, it's going to be kind of according to what your client actually needs. So if we went back to this page at QuickBooks Features, then we'd be able to see what exactly does my client need. Do they need inventory tracking? If so, they're going to need at least QuickBooks Plus. Do they need to import budgets, batch enter invoices? Like, are they growing like crazy? If so, yes, then they would need QuickBooks Advanced. Do they just need time tracking? They don't need inventory. They don't need all those silly things. Then they can just go with the essentials. But basically, this is going to be a good starting off point to figure out, and you can always change that subscription up later. So if we go back to this, we can select what the thing would be. So I'm going to say it's going to be the simple start. And then we get to choose also, do they need payroll? If so, again, there's also the payroll subscriptions that come up. So there's the Elite, the Premium, the Core, and then also it's going to be an added additional price per employee or contractor that they pay per month. And then there's also contractor payments. So when they don't have payroll, but they're actually using contracting, like their subcontracting work out, it's $4 per contractor per month, and you can do direct deposit with that. You can make yourself the primary admin, or you can change it to where they're the ones that have the primary access. I would suggest you become the primary admin, because then you can actually go in and do certain things for them, because they're probably not going to be familiar with those features, especially if they've never had QuickBooks before. But this is what you would be billed per month, and that's what you could also put on your invoice to send out to your clients for them to pay you. Okay, so then from there, what I like to do once that's all set up is get their information. So get their vendor information, their customer information. They should have all of that already. See if they have that on a spreadsheet. See if they have it, just listed out, and then you basically are going to need to import that information into QuickBooks. Encourage them, or you can do it yourself if you already have their bank login information, to go ahead and set up bank feeds. Remember, this is what actually it's connecting their bank account, so that way the transactions will just automatically enter in every single month. So you want to make sure that's done. Make sure that you have your information put in based off of the previous tax filings. Set up the appropriate chart of accounts. If we need to, I can set up a video on how to specify a chart of accounts. It's pretty easy, and they're mostly specified to each different business, but you want to make sure that those chart of accounts are going to be set up for them. They may record income for, like I have a client of mine that they run a fitness studio, and basically they have people that subscribe to them, so they have subscription income, and then they also have just income based off of people that purchase a class off of their website. So they have two different incomes that they like to track to make sure. So I have two different income accounts set up for that. That way on their profit and loss, it'll show what they're getting is as far as their subscriptions, and then what they're getting in as far as people just purchasing a one-time class. So that really helps that. But basically it's about knowing your client and what they need. So you're going to kind of have to get to know them and get familiar with their books. And then make sure that you have the information needed for invoicing, bills, contractors, payroll information, so on and so forth. And one of the ways that I really like to identify transactions, I talked about this in my previous video as well, is having a spreadsheet set up. So this is for one of my clients. You can tell this is the account, the actual bank account that the expense came out of, the date, the amount, who it came from, basically the payee or vendor. And then I have this drop down section here based off of the chart of accounts, and I have them select which one best fits. If they don't know, then they can write it off to the side here. This one, they specifically track a ton of properties, and so I have another drop down menu for them to basically choose what type of property they want to list on there. I have the same thing set up for their income as well. Basically, just kind of helps you figure out, have a reference point to go back to. But that's majority of what you're going to be doing whenever it comes to setting that up and basically figuring that out. And then, like I said, you're going to need to import things. So once you're actually in someone's like QuickBooks account, you can come up here to this little gear, import data. And you can basically import everything from a CSV file. It'll show me here in a second once this loads. So we can import bank data, customers, vendors, chart of accounts, products and services, invoices, because they may already have some kind of accounting software that they use. Let's say they've used Sage or Xero, but they don't want to use them anymore. They can export all that data and then import it into QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is going to be the most effective way to help them, but if they just keep track of their stuff through spreadsheets. I had a lady I talked to the other day that she said that she literally just keeps track of her bank statements. So just having that information imported in is going to be very helpful to figure that out. And obviously you want to price accordingly, which should have already been discussed before you ever did this, because cleanups and doing all this takes a lot more time than you would imagine.
So yeah, basically once you have everything set up, you can proceed to doing your regular tasks, and it just makes things so much easier, and it's really not as difficult as it seems. I'm going to make another video in the future talking about your daily, weekly, quarterly, or your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly bookkeeping tasks that you should be doing, and what each of those tasks look like. So stay tuned for that video. In the meantime, I hope you liked this one. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you'd like to see more videos from me. If you want to learn how to grow your business and become a more efficient bookkeeper, please book a call with Bryce. The link is down below in the description and in the comment section. And then also don't forget to subscribe to Bryce, because besides the videos I upload, there are tons of videos that he uploads that are super helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.